All right, y'all. Welcome to this next edition of This Week in Boxing. You already know I'm Coach True. Getting ready to give y'all my thoughts on these fights coming up this weekend. We got a jam-packed weekend, of course. There's a few fights I'm going to tap into. Wanted to cut down on some of the time with some of it, so I will be shrinking up the fights. I won't get in deep with every fight, but hey, I'm definitely going to touch on them. And again, want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, all of that kind of stuff, and we appreciate it. Definitely don't forget that. That's the main thing. And as always, the goal is just, to stay consistent, give you a great perspective, and be brief as possible, but definitely as detailed as I can be in a short amount of time, just to give you that take on how I see it. So yeah, let's get into this thing, man. Now, the first fight this weekend is going to be Sunday, March 17th. It's a heavyweight bout. Main event is Whyte versus Christian Hammer. Yeah, man. So Big Dillian is making his return to the ring. First fight, actually, since the suspension. Now, he had won 3 of his 5 fights and was actually supposed to face Joshua in a rematch. So he could have been him down there fighting in Saudi Arabia potentially instead of Ngannou. But nonetheless, he got suspended. But that fight was scratched for no reason, or for a faulty reason, because the positive test was actually faulty. And the results came back that he actually did not test positive for something. It was a contaminated substance. So that's really unfortunate because it cost the man millions of dollars. Big Dillian is 35 years old, so he ain't no spring chicken. That was definitely a payday that he missed. So I'm definitely, upset about that for him as well. Now, he's getting trained by a former world champ, Buddy McGirt. So that's a good thing. Buddy is going to help sharpen him up with them skills because he got a lot of raw power, as we all know. Now, he primed to make a splash here, I got to tell you. Known as the body snatcher, Big Dillian is going to show out this weekend. They got him matched up against a guy named Christian Hammer, who I'll tell you about in a minute. But I really see Dillian making a big splash this weekend. Now, his last 4 fights have been split, right? Meaning not split decision, but it's like split down the middle because he lost by knockout to Povetkin, Then he came back and knocked him out just to turn around and get TKO'd by Tyson Fury, So it's just been knockout here, knockout there. But again, I do have a value for Dillian Whyte. I appreciate his grind. I appreciate the brother's sacrifice. And, so yeah, I'm looking for him to do some good things this weekend. Now, let's get into the other guy. I'm going to tell you about him. All right, now Big Christian Hammer is 36 years old, man. As you can see, 27-10. He got 17 knockouts. So he's definitely a formidable opponent for this instance here. But I definitely don't see him being any match for Dillian Whyte, The German heavyweight has been pro since 2008, and he's respected as a tough out. He really is. Like, it's definitely, he's not like just a walkthrough, but he's not on the level of a Dillian Whyte. Now, Hammer has never really tasted success at the top level, and he's lost 3 of his last 4, and the last one was by TKO, and that's what you're looking at here. This was in July of 22. So he's been, inactive since this, because this was actually a beatdown. I got to tell you, he lost to old Joe Joyce. Now, Joe Joyce is decent, big heavyweight, but he ain't no Dillian Whyte. So I got this fight being a stoppage, easy. Not sure how far it'll go. Actually, the farther it goes, the worse it is for Dillian Whyte. I mean, we might give him a little bit of leeway for the ring rust, since it's the first one. But Christian Hammer is definitely not it. So to me, Dillian got to get him out of there and get him out of there early. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you can't really say how you're ready for the other guys. But anyway, that's my opinion. Now, you're going to see a heavyweight. Moving on to the undercard. As you see, now, 6 rounds. It's going to be Thomas Carty against Pavel Sauer. Now, Carty is a decent prospect. He's 28 years old, southpaw. He done knocked out 6 in a row. And this should actually be number 7 because the guy he's going up against is 19-19, 41 years old, lost 6 of his last 8 and 2 of his last 3. So this kid should get him out of there easy. And that was Pavel Sauer there, I believe. So, yeah, Pavel is going down. Now, the next fight is going to be a super lightweight bout. You're going to see Ray Morlett, 13-2 with 6 KOs. He's going to be going up against a Jake Tinklin, who's 11-2, no KOs. Also on that fight card, you're going to see Sadim Ama. There she goes there. And they say that Gary Spike O'Sullivan is going to make his farewell fight too. 31-5 with 21 knockouts. His fight is going to be announced. So yeah, that's the end of that card. So just to put a period on it, it's going to be Sunday, March 17th. Headlined by Whyte against Christian Hammer. And the fight is going to be held at the TF Royal Hotel in Castlebar, Ireland. All right, 10 p.m. UTC, 6 p.m. Eastern time, guys. All right, so this next fight is going to be Friday, March 22nd. It's going to be for the British Bantamweight Championship, and that's between Chris Bourke, 13-1, 8 knockouts, versus Ashley Lane, who's 17-0, 10 KO, 10 losses with 2 KOs. Now, I think it's going to be an interesting fight. These guys know each other, but let me tell you a little bit about Bourke. Now, Bourke, I like I told you, he's 13-1, 29 years old, he's a southpaw. Okay, he made his debut back in 2018. Now his only loss came to a Mark Leach by a unanimous decision. And Leach is 17-1 at the time. And since then, right, Bourke has won his last 3, 2 of those by 2 KOs, 2 in his last fight. Now I got one to do that good of the fight, so he may get carried away. But now my one problem with Bourke is I like his skills and I like his tenacity. I really like this guy. He get after it a little bit. But my one thing with him is inactivity, man. 14 fights in 6 years just ain't good, And now you're 29 already. You're trying to make a big push down there in that bantamweight division, so we'll see. But I like him definitely tonight. He's going up against a guy named Ashley Lane. Let me tell you a little bit about Ashley Lane. Now, Ashley is a decent fighter. He made his debut in 2011. He's 33 years old already now. United Kingdom native, has won 4 or 5, okay, including his last 3. But all those guys was bad, I gotta tell you. Now, another thing about Ashley I don't like, he only got 4 fights since 2020. So that's like 1 fight, a year. That's definitely not gonna get it. He also only got 6 KOs in 29 fights, so absolutely not gonna be a problem for power here with Chris Bourke. I definitely don't see that happening at all. So just to sum it up for you, I like Bourke beating this guy either by stoppage or by a crazy unanimous decision. I mean, like wild scores, but he should stop Ashley Lane. But Ashley ain't no punk, and it's going to be some kind of rivalry going on, so that ought to keep it going. But yeah, look for Chris Bourke to get this guy out of here. All right, y'all. Easy. So the next fight is going to be a 10-round light heavyweight bout for the WBC Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship. Now, it's going to be a 10-round fight. You're going to have Willie Hutchinson, a.k.a. Braveheart, 16-1 with 12 KOs. He's going up against Martin Hubin, who's 17-2 with 10 KOs. And let me tell you a little bit about Hutchinson. He made his debut in 2017. Like I said, he's known as Braveheart, 25 years old, and his career has definitely gotten off to a good start. He done won 5 of his last 6 and 3 in a row. And the last 2 was by stoppage. So I definitely I've been keeping a little eye on him, so I like what I've been seeing. This will be one of the better guys he's faced. So we'll see, because, a lot of times these guys, they get stuck fighting those in-between guys. But he is currently ranked number 12 by the WBC, 10 by the WBO, and 13 by the IBF. So he is definitely worth watching. Now, the guy is going up against Martin Hubin. Now, this guy made his debut in 2018. 30 years old, it's a big German fella, all right? Now, his career hasn't got off to as quick of a start as Hutchinson, but it's not bad either because he's 17-2 with 10 knockouts. Now, the thing with him is he's 30 already, but he done won 11 of 12 and 7 of 8, including 3 in a row. Now, his only loss came to a guy. His last loss came to a guy. The guy was not good. That's the problem. The guy was 6-9, and he got stopped by him, too. The guy knocked him out, so that's not good. Who I like winning the fight? I like Braveheart to pull it out by stoppage. Okay, so the last fight I'm going to talk about on this card is between Raven Chapman and Johanna Sarabia. Now, Chapman is 8-0 with 2 KOs. Sarabia is 10-0 with 6 KOs. Now, it's for the WBC International Featherweight Championship, so it's a title fight, which is why I brought it up. Now, Chapman debuted back in 21. She's known as the Omen, 30 years old. She's undefeated in these 8 fights. She beat a Miss Lucy Sedlakova, who was 15-1. Mind you, her last fight. Beat a unanimous decision, but she beat her. Now, Sarabia is a Colombian girl, 22 years old, and she seems to be like a dog, So her competition has been a little sketchy, and this will be her biggest test yet. Now, she got 6 knockouts, so she definitely got some power. Who I like winning this fight? I don't know, man. I can't really call it, so I'm not going to let y'all hold me to it. But I think it's going to go the distance. I don't see anybody getting stopped. I will say that. So I'll be tuned in to see who wins this fight. But I don't know, man. So just to wrap it up, man, it's going to be Friday, March 22nd, headlined by Chris Bourke versus Ashley Lane for the British Bantamweight Championship. The undercard, you're going to see Willie Hutchinson versus Martin Hubin for the Intercontinental Championship light heavyweight bout. And then you're going to also see Raven Chapman against Johanna Sarabia for the International Featherweight Championship. And all this is going to take place at the York Hall in Bethnal Green, London, United Kingdom. So, again, I like Bourke to win. I like Hutchinson winning. And the last fight, I like to go to decision. I can't say exactly who win. I want to say Sarabia, but I can't say. All right, y'all. This next fight is going to be held on Friday, March 22nd. It's for the WBC Silver Super Featherweight Championship. It's a 12-round bout between Michael Magnesi versus Masanori Rakisi. So this is going to be a really good fight. Now, Magnesi debuted in 2015, and he has amassed a record of 23-1, 13 knockouts, okay? He had won 21 in a row before stepping up in class and losing to an Anthony, I can't even pronounce the guy's name, but that guy was 19-1, and he lost via split decision back in September of 22. Since then, he's won his last two via unanimous decision, and his last fight was in December, and he won that one. That guy was 18-0 too, so he beat that guy. So Magnesi, like I said, he can fight. Now, so not a guy he going up against. Now, Rakisi debuted in 2017. The 29-year-old is 14-1 with 9 knockouts. He's also a southpaw. He got good skill and sneaky power. Now, since his first loss, he won 12 in a row, and the last 3 have been by stoppage, okay? His last fight was against Ricardo Nunez. He was 23-5, and that was back in June of 23. Now, who I got winning this fight? I gotta say, this is gonna be a tough fight, man. I gotta say, it's over there in Italy, so it's gonna be a home crowd for old Magnesi, but that boy Rakisi could fight, and I don't know, I could see him winning this fight. But I will say, if Rakisi wins, he wins by knockout. I don't see him going up there and getting no decision. So I like Magnesi if it goes the distance, but I do think Rakisi can win, but his only chance is to win by stoppage. So that's my thoughts on that. Yeah, guys, so as you can see, the rest of the fights is just like small fights, guys up and coming. I do like Charlemagne down there against Ivan Petrov, though. I do like that guy. I think that should be a decent fight. But the rest of these fights, you can see, it's just like really, really up and coming guys with like poor records. Even the girl here, you see Alessia the times that she's 2-5, you know, so not even, no need to really get into that too much. So the main thing is the WBC Silver Super Featherweight Championship. That's going to be a great fight between Mike Magnesi and Masanori Rakisi. So you guys look for that. Now, my next fight is going to be Friday, March 22nd as well. It's a super featherweight bout, 10 rounds. You're going to have Albert Bell going up against a Jonathan Romero. Now, this is going to be a decent fight, and I'm going to tell you why. First off, Albert Bell. Let me tell you a little about him. Bell, pretty good fighter, okay? Definitely that. He's 31 years old, debuted back in 2013. Now, he ranked number 9 by the Ring, 12 by WBC, and number 1 by the WBO. Now, as far as this guy is known as the Prince, I like how he fights, really got to tell you, but the problem for me with him is he fights mostly middle of the road guys, you know, so this will be actually a decent test for him, even though the guy he's fighting is 37 years old, but it will be a decent test. Now, this guy thinks that he's one of the best super featherweights down, and he think he can handle anybody from around that weight class, from Steph on up, you know, so again, you got to step up because he's 31 years old. Now, he's 25 years old. 25-0, but he's 31, you know, and I'm sure a lot of you haven't heard of him. He only got 8 knockouts, too. And his style is not super fan-friendly because he's a hard guy to hit. He's hard to fight, so he can make a fight boring, and he don't got the power. Like you see there, that's rare. The guy got 8 knockouts in 25 fights, so that's rare, and that's probably why you get all that celebration from a guy when he gets a knockdown like that. Now, this is who he's going up against, Jonathan Romero. Now, this guy's 35-2. He got 19 knockouts, okay? He's known as Momo. He debuted back in 2009, but again, like I told you, 37 years old. In his last fight, he got knocked out too by Abraham Nova. Nova's 22-1. But prior to that, he had won 12 straight. So, yeah, look at this. See? Now, that's the type of stuff right there. Just big-time power got that guy Romero out of there. Now, Bell don't got that kind of power. So, I think seeing something like this, forget it. I don't see Bell doing anything like this to Romero. This probably going to go the distance. You're going to see Bell moving all over the place, slapping him, peppering him a little bit, and Romero trying hard to get big hits. And I think that's going to be the gist of this fight. So it'll be interesting. Now, the only thing that can make it good, again, is if Romero can press this guy and get some real pressure on this guy. You know what I mean? But outside of that, it won't be a good... Look at that stoppage, man. Yeah, but again, forget about Bell doing something like this to Romero. It's not going to happen. So that's that. Yeah, so to the undercard, man, you got a super lightweight bout, 8 rounds, Ladarius Miller. I kind of like Miller. He definitely going to do some work down there against Jason Velez. Velez, I think, is a little long in the tooth and middle of the road. Super middleweight bout over there for 8 rounds, Antoine Jones. You see the guy he's fighting, Vicente Martin Rodriguez, 42-14. Again, another guy that's going to get wiped out. Now, your best chance of seeing something interesting will be down there at that light heavyweight bout. That's going to be an 8-rounder. You got Steve I believe it's Geffrard versus Oscar Cortez. Now, both of them got a few losses, but it looks like it may be the most competitive fight of the night, honestly. So, yeah, stay tuned to it, though, because Bell and Romero may be interesting. So, the fight will be held down there in Toledo. So, for you guys that can check that out. And I believe it's going to be on fight.tv.pay-per-view UK for you guys trying to tune into that fight. 11 p.m., though, Eastern time. Okay, this next fight should be the best fight of the weekend. It's going to be Saturday, March 23rd for the WBC Silver Super Lightweight Championship. It's going to be a 12-round bout with Dalton Thunder Smith, 15-0 with 11 knockouts. He's going to be going up against Jose Zepeda, who's 37-4 with 28 knockouts. Now, let me tell you a little bit about old Thunder Dalton Smith. This guy is in a master record of 15-0. 27 years old, he got 11 knockouts, right? 2 of which has come in his last 4, including the last one against old Sam Maxwell, who was 17-1, by the way. This came back in July. Now, I got to tell you, I like Dalton Smith. This kid got the attitude, he got the swag, he got the speed, he got the accuracy, and he's increasing his power. He's been working out. You can tell because he's been really hitting guys, and you can see them feeling it. I've been watching him now for his past, I want to say 4 or 5 fights, and I got to tell you, I like him. And I usually don't pay attention to guys that, down there in that weight class, but I do like Dalton Smith. And he made his debut in 2019, so he got 15 fights already. So that lets you know he ain't been sitting around. And he already ranked number 12 by the WBC, so he a top 15 fighter. So I definitely like Dalton, and I'm telling you, this is an explosive kid. This is somebody you want to watch. So you guys got to find a way to tune in to see this fight, because I tell you, Dalton is the type of kid that's going to work smart. He's going to work accurate. If he get hit, he's going to stay into his game plan, but he's going to turn it up. That's what I liked about him, because I saw him get tagged. He ain't no chump. I watched him get after it. So, and that's what, look at that right hand there. He's pretty sharp. I like the kid. Now, speaking of not a chump, that's what Jose Zepeda is not. Now, he debuted back in 2009. The 34-year-old southpaw. His career hasn't blossomed quite the way he wanted, and I'm sure, because he's been losing 2 of his last 3, actually, and 1 by KO to Regis Prograis back in 11-22. But, and this could possibly be his last chance to stake a claim. But what I want to say about this kid is, this guy can work. Zepeda is a dangerous puncher, and he got pure power. That's what makes him dangerous. You see look how he nailed that guy there. I'm talking about he got that raw power. So this is the type of power, like if he touch you, it's a good chance you can go. The guy got 28 knockouts. You see what I'm saying? And this ain't nothing to play around with. That's why I'm surprised that Dalton actually took this fight, because there's a bigger fight for him available. So to take, I think the guy's name is Adam Azim. He's a big fighter over there in Europe. Got a big wave. I think he's a Commonwealth champion. I'm not sure, something like that. But anyway, that's an easier and a better fight. I don't want to say it's easy, but that's the fight that Dalton Smith should really look to make. Fighting Jose Zepeda is dangerous. So it really show you the type of dog, one, that Smith is, the trust that his team has in him. Because guys, they thinking about money and they don't want nobody messing up their perfect record and all that kind of stuff. So this shows you the confidence they have in it. Because I'm telling you guys that this guy, Jose Zapata, can punch. And if he lands something, it could be good night for Smith. But I do like Smith winning, and I like him winning the fight. I don't know if he may stop old Zapata because they'd be trading. But either way, I like Dalton Smith winning. All right, so this next fight is going to be a super welterweight bout. You got Ishmael Davis going up against Troy Williamson. Now, Davis is decent. He debuted back in 2018, and he's won his last 4 by TKO. But most of that have been against middle-of-the-road guys. Now, this would be a real test against Troy Williamson. Troy is 20-2 with 1 draw, and he got 14 knockouts. Now, Troy's on he debuted in 2016, but his streak he on is unique as well because he lost 2 or 3. Now, the 2 losses was against better guys. They had a combined record of 25-1-1. Now, the guy he beat in between, he was a middle-of-the-road guy. So, again, interesting fight because neither of these guys have really fought anybody good. I think Troy probably has fought the better of the guys. So, I would like to see. Now, Davis got some power. So I want to see how Troy responds to getting hit. But outside of that, I think Troy Williamson wins this fight. This is a battle of England boys. Davis is from Leeds. Troy Williamson is from Darlington. So this will definitely be some rivalry. I don't know if any of y'all understand how the United Kingdom is, England. They soccer and stuff. Them guys is real territorial. So everything be a rivalry over there. So I think Williamson will win this though. All right, y'all. Last fight I'm going to talk about is for the WBO Welterweight Championships female battle. You're going to have Sandy Ryan going up against Terry Harper. Now, Ryan is currently the WBO champ. This is a tall girl. She's standing at 5'10". She's 30 years old, and she definitely uses great distance and range and ring generalship to win most of her matches. Her last match was a closely contested draw with fellow world champion Jessica McCaskill. But it was definitely still a good fight. As you can see, she only got 2 knockouts, so she don't got no power. Now, you saw the lady she going up against. That was Terry Harper. She debuted back in 2017. Pretty decent record, decent power, too. She got 6 knockouts, so I would like to see what goes on with her. She's 27 years old. Honestly, I got to say I see Ryan winning this fight as well. I don't see it being close. I mean, I can't say I don't see it being close, but I definitely see her winning this fight. But Harper is a tough lady, and I wouldn't be surprised if she found a way to get the stoppage. But that's the only way I see her winning. So just to wrap up this weekend with this fight, I like Dalton Smith winning, even though it's going to be a tough fight. I like Troy Williamson to pull out this fight against Davis, and I would like Sandy Ryan to I like Sandy Ryan to win that last bout. Now, all this is going to be happening at the Sheffield Arena in Sheffield, Yorkshire, United Kingdom. So, lots of great fights over in the UK this weekend, y'all. All right, y'all. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Appreciate everybody watching, man. It was a good episode. It's going to be some great fights this weekend. Of course, we made some clutch picks from last week, so stay tuned in. I'm giving you that good advice, so I appreciate all y'all watching. Definitely hit that notification bell, man, so y'all can get the content when I release it. That way you be on top of everything going on. I'm always releasing something. Try to keep that content current and consistent. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Peace.